Hey friends, Julie here, and today I am going to share with you 5 super simple last minute Mother's Day DIY gift ideas. Let's begin the first one with a homemade candle. You can pick up some wax. This is from Michaels. I am just actually going to remelt this candle and use the wax inside of it. This is from the Dollar Tree. And you're going to need some wicks. These I picked up from Amazon. And you can use any different containers if you have old votive holders, any glass jars. I'm going to use this little mason jar. You could also use a jar that's left over from an item from food. To begin, I am just going to melt the wax by putting it in some boiling water. And I'm going to want to make sure my wick and my glass container are really close by. And you can see here that if you leave it for a while, it does start to melt because it starts to basically shrink down. And you can see here it is pretty melted. So to begin, I'm going to take the bottom of the wick and I'm going to stick it in the wax and put it in the middle of the jar and let it dry. And the wax is just going to kind of hold the wick in place. At least it's supposed to. I've made candles before and it has, but you're going to see that this kind of didn't for some reason. I'm not sure why. Maybe I didn't let it dry enough. But I also am going to be adding some essential oils. You could use things like lemon, lavender, or orange. For this specific one, I'm going to use lavender. Now I am going to use some tongs and just pull the old wick out of the candle because I don't want that to pour into my new candle. And I'm going to add some oil, but I'm going to do it after I add in the wax. So I'm just going to use a oven mitt and I am going to pour this wax into my glass container. And I ended up using, this was enough to make 2 candles. And then you want to keep, you could see here, this is where the wick did not stay for some reason in my glass jar. But all I did was prop it up with a knife that I had nearby. Usually I use like a popsicle stick or something, but anything that holds the wick in place is fine. And then I'm going to add in several drops of lavender. And once it is dry, all I'm going to do to embellish it is take some Dollar Tree ribbon and I am going to hot glue this onto the rim around the jar. And I do want the seam to be in the back. I'm considering the front, the part of the jar that has a little, it has like a place for a label. And having it attached to the jar lid means that it could be open and closed. She can reuse this jar later and the ribbon can stay on it. If I had just tied a ribbon around the glass jar, she would have had to remove the ribbon. It just wouldn't stay as pretty. So for the second DIY, I'm going to use some leftover tiles that I have. I do know that you can also pick up some coasters from the Dollar Tree and you could use those as well. Now you're going to see that this didn't work out as planned, but I came up with plan B. So I just printed out several pictures. What I'm doing is I'm taking pictures of the grandkids and putting them on and making coasters. You're going to need some Mod Podge, some clear coat finish, and some felt pads to protect the table when they have the coaster on the table because you don't want to scratch it. And these are some heavy duty tiles, so it definitely would scratch. Now I'm just going to Mod Podge this picture on. Now originally I thought I was going to do like a photo transfer. I've seen this done all over the internet on blogs and stuff, and it did not work out as I thought. Maybe, I believe it said that you needed a laser printer, and I don't know if my printer is. I'm assuming it's not because it didn't work. It should work where you put the picture face down and then you later come back with some water and you kind of rub it off after it's all dry. Well, that did not work. This is how bad it turned out. It did not work. I mean, you can kind of see that it was working, but it really didn't work. The ink, this one here, I did get most of the paper off, and then the ink just bled everywhere. I don't know. It was just a total flop. So plan B is very basic. I am just going to Mod Podge these on to the tile, and I'm going to just do it like I normally would Mod Podge something. You just put the glue on the bottom, then you seal it with the glue on the top. Now, because this is a coaster and you're going to put glasses and stuff on it, it's very important that it has a very strong finish. So I'm going to use several coats of this, and I'm going to let it dry in between coats. Now this, you could probably do this with just Mod Podge, but again, you want to let it dry in between coats and make sure there's a nice coat so that it's completely protected and the photo's not going to get ruined. Once it is dry, I'm just going to add these felt pads to the bottom. Again, this is for the purpose of protecting the table. Now these ones are self-adhesive. If they weren't, I could hot glue them on. And I'm pretty sure Dollar Tree sells these as well. And then as a gift to make it pretty, I am just going to wrap some of this yellow ribbon, also from the Dollar Tree, around the tiles and make a little bow. Super cute, and I know that my mother-in-law will love these. Now, this is a DIY I had done in a previous video, but I think it would be great for Mother's Day. I took this teapot that was going to end up in the trash, and I painted it all white and then wrapped the handle with twine. And I'm putting fake flowers in it, but I think this would be absolutely adorable if your mother or mother-in-law lives close by where you can actually put a real plant in it and deliver it with a live plant. I can't because mine live in a different state, but it would be absolutely adorable as a planter. And I will leave a link down below if you want to see the actual video of how I made this, but it was just easy, just paint and some twine. Now for the next one, I'm going to use this old salsa jar. You are going to want to run it through the dishwasher just to get any scent out of it. I'm going to use some Dollar Tree ribbon. This is the same ribbon I have been using. I'm going to use these name tags, which are from the Dollar Tree, because I don't have any stickers to print on. And so to do this, all I did was I printed a wallet size picture on regular paper. Then I taped one of these name tags on right over the top of it so that I can make sure it's printed properly. And now I have a sticker. Now this was just something I designed in Canva. You could probably design it in Word as well. And I am also going to be using several different colored markers. Now this was a labor intensive in the sense of thinking. This took me hours to think, but this is a timeless gift. I mean, I'm going to write 365 reasons why I am thankful for my mother. You have to think all the way back to things she may have done when you were a baby or when you were in the womb, all the way through all the childhood memories you can think of. And I think that this is going to be so special for my mom every day for a whole year. And honestly, I'm going to tell her to reuse it because I'm not making this again. But every day for a year, she can open up a little sheet of paper and read something that I'm thankful for. So while this was time intensive, it's going to be worth it. So this is just the first page. I think it took me like 10 pages to get 365 reasons. And then here they are all folded up in my jar, and I did paint the lid a color that matches the sticker because the black would have looked very tacky. And I noticed here that a little paper was sticking out. This was hard even to get the 365 pieces in there. And then I am just going to take the sticker and I'm going to place it on the jar. And I do decide to cut it down a little bit because it didn't quite fit the jar that I had very well. You know, a mayonnaise jar or something probably would have been a little bit better for this project, but this is what I had saved for it, so I made it work. And then to embellish it, I just tied this pink ribbon around it and made a little bow. And it is ready to be gifted. And I really believe my mom is going to absolutely love this gift. I thought about wrapping 2 ribbons, but I didn't like it. This was a DIY that I posted last week. I will leave a link down below, but it was a $3 DIY lantern that you put a candle in and you light it up. It has photos of all 3 of the kids in my family and their families. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoy DIY videos, and I will see you guys next time. Thanks, guys.